Happy National Heroscape Day, everyone. I just got my Wave 2 stuff delivered and also picked up Cornelius Breach from my LGS. So I'm going to be unboxing these today and seeing what we've got in store. I am still getting over a cold, so if my voice sounds stuffy, that's why. Let's go ahead and go through these one by one. I'm going to have to cut it down to one at a time just so that I can get these all into frame. I just want to show everything at once from the outset because it looks cool together. So let's go ahead and start with Cornelius. So Cornelius is our promo for Wave 2 Organized Play. I participated in an event last week and they gave us a voucher since he didn't get in until yesterday. So I finally was able to go pick him up today, and this is what the box looks like. One thing to note is that this guy was not shrink wrapped like Shiori and Drake were. He did still have the sticker here, just covering the flaps, so that's the way that you can know that these are sealed. But if you're seeing these online and they don't have shrink wrap, that's normal. I guess they're just saving some plastic, which is fine by me because you still got the seal on the top. Now I already opened him just to see what was inside while I was at the game store, so we'll just take him out real quick. Here's a card packaged the same way as Shiori and Drake were. Here is his abilities. So he's got First Assault 2, Mutiny, and 5 life, 5 move, 1 range, 3 attack, 3 defense, 80 points. Seems like a solid all-around kind of pirate hero. He does work with the pirate army that we kind of got in Wave 1 of Age of Annihilation. Nothing too different there from what we've already seen. Here's a figure. It's looking like it's having a hard time focusing here. There we go. So he's like a hammerhead shark looking dude. My camera's probably not going to be the best at picking this up. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer here. I don't have the best phone camera in general, but you can see they missed the eye application. I didn't even notice it until somebody in the Discord pointed it out to me, but his eyes are actually recessed a little bit closer to his horns there, and they completely missed them. I'm going to say it's just yellow war paint at this point because that's pretty rough. I don't know why Renegade is so insistent on painting the eyes for these miniatures. They're just so small. It's so easy to miss like they did here and for some of the Kyrie that I've seen posted online. There's a reason that Wave or Classic Heroscape didn't paint the eyes on these small miniatures. I think Renegade should learn from that. So the colors on this are a little bit better in my opinion. You've got a nice dark wash on the cape there, similar to Classic Heroscape. You've also got some wash and speckling on the yellow here. I can't tell if that's intentional or not. Definitely somewhat intentional, but it looks like there's a little bit more speckling than probably they intended. Although in my opinion, that makes it look better. I think these gaudy colors like the yellows and the purples and just the bright primary colors that they've been using on these figures is a little too much. So I appreciate the more muted look of this figure. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at Heroscape Army Expansion, Age of Annihilation, Premium Painted Edition, Revna's Rebuke, Iron Lich Viscerot, and Necrotech Wraith Riders. So there's the full title. I don't think I could even fit that in the YouTube title, so that's funny. Here's the back of the box. This one, again, similar to Cornelius, which we just saw. This one is not shrink wrapped, even though the terrain packs were. So this one has 4 miniatures, retails for $65. I'm going to be honest, that's pretty nuts. Some people are saying that's approaching Warhammer territory, and it is in the sense that Warhammer can be $65 for a miniature or a couple miniatures, but in those cases they're not painted and they're not assembled. Still, to me, I don't know that that's a good enough argument to say that it's not approaching Warhammer territory. This is inarguably very expensive for 4 miniatures. Now, the unpainted for $45 I think is an even worse price point, just because you're paying for 4 miniatures that are injection molded, mass produced, you know, in a factory. China's been doing that for like a century at this point. There's no reason that it should cost $45. What I think is happening, and this is just speculation, I think that they are upping the cost of the unpainted in an attempt to get you to spend the $20 to upgrade to the painted, because I do think that painting these miniatures costs more in labor and materials than $20, just because painting is time consuming, the materials are expensive, the skill set is, you know, it costs money. So I think that they are averaging those costs out between the two to try to incentivize upgrading to pre-painted. It works for me because I don't want to get into painting, although I might have to with future promos. But I like to be able to just unbox my stuff and get it right on the field and start playing. So I went with the pre-painted. I did pay for these myself, so this is, my personal opinion on what I've received here for my money. So I did pay out of pocket for these, and I will be playing them. I'm very excited that Heroscape's back, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm going all in on it. So let's open this up here. Looks like it's just a simple little sticker there like we saw with Breach. Maybe I should have reserved my price analysis discussion until after I'd seen the models, but I did it again. Same thing I did with the water tiles. Okay, we only lost one dude there. We're doing better. I'm a professional. I've done this for many years now. Alright, so here are the Wraith Riders. These are a 3-man squad. They're riding these little ball things. First impression, the gray, like silverish metal paint is pretty lackluster. Like you can see here on these tubes that they've got a shinier metal. This was like a similar complaint that I saw for Ejim, where his head and like chest plate were this nice shiny silver, and then his arms were like this more matte gray silver. It doesn't ruin it for me. It's, the figure looks perfectly fine, in my opinion. I think that the paint jobs, like, people, I think, are expecting too much for the cost of the paint jobs, just in my experience, or in my opinion, because painting is time consuming, like I said. So here is one of the other ones. He looks pretty good. Same type of thing. The paint's a little gray, but the figures look good overall. I do think that there's a nice dark wash, and that's something, like I was saying on Cornelius, is that the colors are more washed than they were in the original Wave 1 Master Set and Battle Box. And so I hope that that trend continues, because these look more like classic Heroscape in my opinion, just because you've got these nice dark recesses on the yellows. The yellows look less cartoonish than they do in the renders, which is good to see. Here is the last one. Gotta get these up close. There we go. Man, his whip there is looking really cool. I like that. And these are nice and bendy, so they're not gonna snap. The molds themselves, the figure molds, do look cool. They're pretty detailed, definitely more detailed than original Heroscape. Obviously, because these were created with the intention of being sold unpainted, which again is why I do think that the painting on these costs more than maybe they're letting on. Like, I think that their margins are thinner on the pre-painted, and then their margins are much wider on the unpainted. Probably because they expect to sell more unpainted, but then also they're trying to amortize the costs between the two products. So hopefully they're, between the sales of both of them, they're making out closer to the profit margins that they would expect. Those look good. Let's take a look at this big boy here. This guy's crazy. The base is a little warped. That's disappointing. I had hoped that they would have resolved that by now. Seems like they haven't. I mean, it's hard to speak positively when you spend $65 for this. $65. That is not an insignificant amount of money, even in today's economy. I understand that things have changed, and board games of this caliber are expensive, but we are paying a premium, and so I would expect to not have my massive figure have a warped base like this. Now, I know that there are ways to fix this, and I tried them on my Raylan and Zenithrax for Wave 1. They maybe helped a little bit, but they were not perfect solutions like I would expect. Like, both of those still have some wobble to them. So I'll do the boiling water trick on this guy, and hopefully it'll help out, but I am a little disappointed by that. Obviously, the paint job looks great. I know people have said this evokes like construction equipment. What's the word? Aesthetic. I think that's partially true and definitely intentional. I think it does look really cool. It's very imposing. It's a cool miniature, that's for sure. And then here we have our cards. So the Wraith Riders are our second 2-life squad. So similar to the bears that we saw in the Master Set, these have 2 life each. They are 90 points. They have 8 move, which is pretty wild. They also have chain grab 9, which makes their effective range 11 in a turn, because they can yank people to them. They have rolling movement, which prevents them from moving up and down above. Sorry, so they can move down as much as they want. They can't move up more than 2, which makes sense since they're on these like rolling balls here. Cool looking figures, cool looking cards and abilities. I like them a lot. The Iron Lich Viscerot, the Dismissive Strider, Vile Injection, Ironclad Puppeteer. Just really cool. I'm excited to play these together. Feels priced right and balanced well for 150 points, 90 points, 6 life, move 5, range 5. Just really cool units. Definitely going to get a lot of enjoyment out of these. The last thing that they have here are these yellow tokens here, which I believe are for Vile Injection. Yeah, the surge markers that it references here. So it's cool that it has those. It also includes 3 wound markers, which is great because those are used on these guys. So even if you don't have like a master set or anything, you can still use these with the wound markers that it includes. So that's great. All right, and last but not least, we have the 5 Kyrie. Again, these were $65. And again, it feels quite expensive for 5 miniatures. Granted, these are a little bit larger than a standard miniature, just because they've got those big wing sculpts and like a lot of details going on here. But we'll go ahead and just open it up and take a look at them and see what we think. Maybe this time I will remember to open them in the proper direction. How about that? Alright, here they are. Let's go ahead and take a look at these one by one. Alright, so let me match them up to their cards here, because there's no way I'm going to remember them all. So we've got Kilkrax, we'll start there. Kilkrax is the Revna Kyrie to match Miserix, however you want to see that. So finally, they have, you know, a pair that are Revna Kyrie. Let's take a look at the miniature. This one looks pretty good, good detailing, other than the fact that the wow, I don't know if that's intentional or I just got unlucky here. The card shows painting like on these bones here, this skull, some like metal looking thing in the center there. And you can see all those sculpts on the model, but they are just not painted on mine. So that's great. And then I can't tell what that is. It looks like a ponytail going down the back there, but it's painted bone color in the center. Maybe that's for the wings, although that's definitely the part of the hair mold going over the wings, so that seems like an odd choice. Not great. Not the worst, though. I mean, it'll look fine on the battlefield. And then we've got Glenerva, so this is the Aquila Kyrie. And I'm probably less critical of these paint jobs than a lot of people I've seen online. I'm not too picky when it comes to Heroscape paint jobs. I just want something that looks the part when, you know, it's 5 feet away on the battlefield. Or not 5 feet, but, you know, more than a foot away on the battlefield. This one, that's a pretty bright yellow. The card definitely shows more of a gold color. This is pretty, like, I don't know. I feel like I need to do some sort of dark wash on that. Back looks cool. I like that they actually did some detailing there. Then we've got Mielke, the Kyrie warrior. So this is the Ular Kyrie. I think this is our first Ular unit. I do like this mold a lot, and I like the gold paint they use there. These are some good colors. It's hard to mess up these nice greens, so this looks good. Yeah, the gold is nice and shiny and reflective, like I would hope the metal would be, but, you know, it looks good here. Honestly, this is kind of the color, like maybe a more yellow version of this is what they should have used for this one, because that just looks like yellow feathers. Yeah, no real complaints for this one. I like this one a lot. Looks really good. Then we have Ziamara, the Kyrie warrior. This is another Ular Kyrie, so cool to get some more Ular Kyrie. This sculpt is probably my favorite. I mean, this just looks incredible. And mine has the same issue that I've seen for others online, where the eyes are just completely out of place. I don't know. Again, same thing as Breach. I don't know why they would even try to paint those. There's just no need to. In fact, I might get some paint and just blot those out because they just kind of make it look goofy, because there's one like down on her cheek and one over on like the side of her eye. So, unfortunate for that. They just need to stop painting the eyes, it seems like. Yeah, looks good though. Other than the eyes, I really like this one a lot. And then lastly, we have Queen Kyrion. Oh, I just realized I might not have shown these past couple of cards. I was kind of reading off of them as I went. Queen Quirion. So that's the Vidar Kyrie. I think this is our first Vidar Kyrie. So that's pretty cool. She looks awesome. Wow, this paint really works. And it looks like they didn't miss her eyes, so I got pretty lucky there. She's even got a Vidar symbol molded into her chest there, which is like, that's some tiny detailing. That's great. The blues and the metal colors look great here. You can see you got that more reflective silver up top here. Yeah, this is a good looking figure. Yeah, so no real complaints for these two especially. Just need to fix the eyes on these. This one, the yellow coloring needs a lot of help. And this one is just missing some bone detailing on the front. So, I mean, it's a mixed bag. For $65, it doesn't really feel worth it. I am fortunate that I'm well off enough that I can afford these and that I can get the premium, painted version, and that it's, okay, but I don't know that this is okay for the future of Heroscape. Like, I just don't know that I can see the average consumer finding these 5 miniatures for $45 being worth it, or these 5 miniatures with these paint jobs being worth $65. Yeah, don't know how to feel about that. I'm sure the units are fun, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy getting some games in with them. I don't think a lot of these have really like bonding armies that they go into right now, but that's no worry for me. I love playing just like jank, whatever I can get my hands on, so new units is always a blast. But yeah, that is I didn't even say the name of this one. It is Revna's Rebuke Kyrie Warriors, so that's this pack. That's all we've got for Wave 2, so thank you for watching.